Hi chess friends, today we are analyzing the game of the Mikhail Tal, the renowned magician from Riga, and the Alexander Koblents, who was also a great player of his time and remained the coach of Mikhail Tal. Here with the white pieces, Mikhail Tal opens the game with e4, which Koblents respond with c5. Mikhail Tal plays his knight to f3, which Alexander responds with d6, a natural move, a natural development in initial stages. Mikhail Tal went d4, just shattering around the center and challenging his opponent in his own way. Here Alexander captures the pawn at d4, which Mikhail Tal recaptures with his knight. Koblents responds with knight f6, threatening the pawn. Mikhail Tal goes knight c3, preventing his pawn. Alexander comes with another knight, developing the pieces. Here Mikhail Tal goes bishop g5, putting pressure on the knight. Simply Alexander goes pawn to e6, natural development. Here Mikhail Tal plays d2, adjusting his queen and preparing for the castle to the queen side. Here Alexander plays his bishop to e7, preventing the pin to the queen. Mikhail Tal just castles queen side, putting his king to the safety. Here Alexander also castles, but he castles king side. Mikhail Tal he retreats his knight to b3. Here Alexander puts his queen on b6, putting pressure towards king side. Here Mikhail Tal just plays a natural move f3, which Alexander responded with a6, preventing the bishop to come in the game. Here Mikhail Tal says, "Look, Alexander, I am coming towards your king. Will you be able to defend it?" Okay, Alexander says, "No problem, Mikhail Tal, I am bringing my rook." Mikhail Tal just retreats his bishop and puts the threat on the vulnerable queen of Alexander. Alexander saves his queen to c7. Mikhail Tal said, "Bro, see my unorthodox ways and I will take you to the deep dark forest." This was a challenging game for Alexander Koblents. He says, "Okay, Mikhail, I am also the great player. If you are coming to hunt my king, first save your king." Mikhail Tal says, "I don't care. Do whatever you want to do, but I am coming. Save your knight." Here, Alexander Koblents retreat his knight to the safer square, d7. "Oh no, wow, really?" Mikhail Tal says, "No way, bro. I am behind your king." Here Koblents capture with his pawn, which according to the engine is an inaccuracy. Mikhail Tal plays boom, h5, sacrificing another pawn. Alexander just captures the pawn. Mikhail Tal recaptures it with his rook. See how Mikhail Tal is booming around and setting the magics in his game. Alexander plays his knight to f6, putting threat on the rook. Rook comes back. Alexander plays his pawn to d5, putting more pressure towards the center. Mikhail Tal said, "No, that will not happen. Save the ass of your knight." He just captures with another knight. Here Mikhail Tal pins the knight to the queen, but the engine says it's a blunder. But engine also don't really understand Mikhail Tal. Koblents responded with bishop to d6, adding a defender to the knight. Mikhail Tal goes queen h2, coming for checkmate. But here Koblents plays his king to the safer square. Mikhail Tal gives the check. Here Alexander plays his knight to g8, preventing the king from the check. which is a critical error, a blunder. Here Mikhail Tal comes with a booming rook h7, responded with f5, giving more space. Mikhail Tal plays the bishop h6. What a move! You cannot take it with the knight because it comes the check. You cannot take it with your pawn because sweetie is hanging. Here Koblents just add another row, putting a defender. Boom! Mikhail Tal sacrificed the bishop. Oh no, bro. He again blundered. He even didn't took the bishop. Here Mikhail Tal plays the rook, bringing the last rook into the game. Responded with the rook a7, adding more defenders to the pawn and trying to save the king. Mikhail Tal goes knight d4. Koblents brings his knight to the g4 square, adding pressure at bishop because it's a really threat to him. Mikhail Tal just capture it with the pawn. Here Koblents goes bishop to e5. Mikhail Tal just moves his knight, adding more pressure. Koblents just captures the knight, which is a blunder. Here Mikhail Tal retreats his bishop, which responded by d4, adding threat to the bishop. Here Mikhail Tal adds another rook to the game. Koblents plays his rook to d7. Mikhail Tal went with the bishop g5. Engine says it's a blunder, but no, Engine, you don't really understand Mikhail Tal. Here Koblents just captures the pawn. Rook goes h7. Just see how Mikhail Tal bringing his pieces. See the structure. How queen, rook, bishop, knight how they are sitting to ambush the king. Here Koblents plays the pawn. Mikhail Tal just captures the bishop, gives the check, d1, preventing the king. Queen takes knight. Here Mikhail Tal gives the final blow by giving the check. You cannot take it with the pawn because the pony bishop is coming to checkmate the king soon. Because you cannot capture the bishop with the knight, it comes with a check. And here Koblents just plays a rook to f7, preventing the king. Mikhail Tal, boom. You cannot take it, giving the check. You cannot take it with the rook because it comes with the check. And if you move your king to the e8 square, then simply queen will take the knight, giving the check. Boom. And then bishop is waiting, is waiting, queen is adding. Here Koblents resigned the game. What a game by Mikhail Tal, a great game.